All right, guys, we are back, and welcome back to part two for the Summer Wars, where this time we reveal our top 10 for the summer. But before that, also, we got some honorable mentions to talk about. So, guys, we had a hell of a summer, did we not?
Indeed,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Indeed.
We did.
Stressful, a lot of good shows, some bad ones. We had a lot, everything in between. But it was a big list for most of us. We were able to pull through. Thank you all that were able to swap in to replace either of us or both of us. No, I'm happy. Great crew, and fall is going to be delightful. And before we start, as always, we like to do our honorable mentions, but with our new concept of we say our three honorable mentions one at a time. So Chris will say his three, then his Starman will do his, then Ethan, then myself. Before we do our actual top 10. So with that, guys, are you ready?
Yes.
Alrighty. This is our basically 13 to 11, our honorable mentions that did not make it to the top 10 because we cannot put everyone in our top 10. So this is how we do it. So, Chris, your three honorable mentions.
My top three honorable mentions. I'm going with Rascal for number 13, uh, New Saga for number 12, and Levitus for number 11.
Whoa.
Which ones?
Uh, Rascal, New Saga, then Clevitus.
My heart. My heart.
That's
It
right.
was good. It was good. I just had a lot of shows that I liked a lot more.
I mean,
All
that's
right.
fair. That's fair, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For my three, I have at 13, Kaiju number 8. I gave it 3.5 out of 5. Number 12, Shield Hero season 4, 3.5 out. Yes, Shield Hero season 4. Shield
Wow.
Hero's better than Kaiju number 8. I'm gonna say it. And number 11, My Dress Up Darling. It came so close to cracking the top 10, but
Mm-hmm.
the story went nowhere other than just a nice little slice of life. Like they didn't. I realized I showed up for like the relationship, the bubbling. Like there was nothing memorable about this season. There was not one moment that is living rent free in my mind from season 2 of My Dress Up Darling. But I will say I gave Shield Hero season 4 3.5 out of 5, and I also gave My Dress Up Darling, considering it didn't crack the top 10, it got a 4 out of 5 though. It's still an 8.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, got it 4 out of 5. It just didn't crack the top 10.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
interesting.
Yeah, there's solid heat in my top 10. Heat. Heat.
Me too, but okay.
4
I'll
out
get
of
to it.
5 that didn't crack the top 10. Yeah, bro.
I'll get to it in a second. All right. Number 13 for me, I've got Witch Watch. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. I laughed for a good portion of the season, but it was never one of those shows that I was really in love with. Sean, the point I wanted to make that I'm carrying over from the last recording is the fact that you had mentioned about the ROM aspect, how it's like touched, but it's not really it's not really a ROM. And I think it's that's not the entire purpose of the show, which is fine, but it's very one-sided, which kind of irks me. You have Nico just in love with Moy, and Moy is oblivious, and not only oblivious, is he's stoic about it. There's no indication whatsoever that this is going to blossom. We all know eventually it does because that's what anime does, but there's nothing to it, and so I care more about Nemu and fucking and Wolf than I really care about fucking. I care about what's it called, Nico and Moy. So, but I still enjoyed the callbacks and the things that it did through the first half. Mostly, I agree with Chris. It was never a fan of season 2 or part 2 as I was compared to part 1. So 3.5 out of 5 for Witch Watch. Number 12 for me, Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. I really wanted to put this at in my 10, but with everything else that I loved more, I couldn't justify it. I felt like there was intrigue. I felt the stakes were relatively high, but again, there's they get through the points, and that's fine. But the earlier stories of puberty syndrome bear no significance to the overarching story. And then even at the finale, the overarching story is taken care of. It seems relatively like disappointing. Like it was nice. It was a nice button up, but it wasn't like tremendous in the finale. And then it opens up more questions. I believe it's in the after credit of how does Shoko still impact this world? It's clear Shoko now after that after credit. I don't know if you want me to mention it further because you never finished it, Sean. Do you care
Of what?
if I talk about Shoko in the after credit for the finale?
Finale of what?
Rascal.
I mean, nah, go ahead, bro. I know a new movie coming out. Like, so
And
shit. Go ahead.
it's clear that they make it seem that Shoko is the impetus for puberty syndrome because they constantly tease Sakata seeing her in various places throughout Tokyo, even though that story seemingly has been resolved since the end of the first movie. But why do they do that? And what is the significance? It adds more questions and I think devalues the overarching story that this tried to tell. I still enjoyed it, but I felt this was a little bit of a disappointment for me. So I also gave this a 3 I gave it a 3.5. This is also a 3.5. Number 11 for me was My Dress Up Darling, season 2. Much to your point, Sean, it really went nowhere. It was nice to have Marin and Gojo back. They're always lovely to see on screen. It's always a fun show, always enjoyable. But compared to everything else that's in the 10, nothing of significance truly happened. It doesn't come close to season 1, in my opinion. And there was a lot that was left on the table, truth be told, as it relates to Dress Up Darling. So it was fun. I enjoyed it, but wasn't impressed. Another 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. 13, Dress Up Darling, season 2. It felt like a big nothing burger, except for I think the one that really had growth was Gojo, and then just the side characters. Marin, not as much. So the only time was she gained like 5 pounds. That was really the only catastrophe she's ever had. Number 12, Dr. Stone, Science Future Part 2. Look, the last few episodes were great, but the stuff before that, it was just okay to me. Like those 3 or so don't make up a good chunk of the season for me to put it on my top 10. I still liked it, but I liked everything else a little bit better.
I feel you. Matt got his payback.
Yeah. I told you I'd tag you back.
Yeah, you got me back, bro. Because good God, I ain't see that coming. Shit.
Number 11, Hanukkah-kun, season 2, part 2. I like part 2 a lot better than part 1. Everyone got involved. Everyone had a purpose. We got that nice little cliffhanger to find out if we're going to get a season 3. I hope we do. But no, it wasn't enough for me to make it to the top 10. And mind you, those 2 were 4s. So there you go. Like, I can't fit everything. So something has to go.
I didn't get a 4 until 9.
Well,
Look at you trying to be strict with your 4s. Aw.
I
Ethan
didn't
showing character development.
I didn't get 4 through 9 or 4s, and then I only had the 2 5s at 1 and 2.
I still have 0 5s. So, all right, number 10, Chris.
All right. I'm going with a good old classic of Call of the Night season 2. I really enjoyed the good old budding relationship of Ko and Nazna. The way they handled her backstory was great, and her relationship to I forgot her name, and the good old stinger at the end with, "Hey, are we gonna go back to? Are we gonna have a season 3? I don't know. You guys know the tropes. We might. It's a 50-50. Was pretty fun. So yeah. Call of Night season 2.
All right.
All right. For number 10, I have Pure Saturday Morning Serotonin. A broom, a blush, and emotional damage. Witch Watch. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It's cute, charming, delightfully wholesome. The humor carried the series, even though the finale felt like filler and lacked the payoff. It was still a good anime. It had anime within the anime, and I will say the seriousness of part one of Witch Watch really carried season two, which kind of fell off a little bit. So that's why it's further down my list. But the chemistry and lighthearted tone makes it for an easy, comforting watch. It's really super cute. Nice. It's so many characters to pick from that you'll love. They added new characters, and the show just never stopped being fun. I just feel like it lost. I feel like it just kind of lost some of its charm. Everything just started to feel repetitive when you got to the second part. I still give it a 4 out of 5 because it was like when it was good, it was great. But when it was alright, it was meh.
I want to give you a point before we continue, Sean, on something that I had written in my review as it related to Witch Watch, because I think to your point, let me see if I can find where the hell it is. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry for
While you're looking for it, I'm going to give my reason why I didn't like season 2 of Wish Watch, because it wasn't just like what you thought it was. Ethan. It was season 1 had plot. Season 2 felt more like, oh, we're going to give you like a couple new characters, and then here's a bunch of fucking filler that doesn't actually
Go anywhere.
have anything to do with the story.
But
Yeah.
it's kind of gives you like a gag. It's kind of gag in essence.
Yeah, but like season 1 still had gag, but it also
They had that plot. They got serious at the end of this one. They just repeated a whole sequence from the first season when the guy was at school that were trying to find out who was it. It felt familiar. Like, wait a minute, I feel like I've seen this before. Like I said, Witch Watch as a whole, since they split it into 2 parts instead of like 2 seasons. That's season 1 is the reason why it's a 4. Season 1 is why it's a 4 because a 3.5 just didn't really feel too right. But I honestly almost settled on a. Only thing is, I like Witch Watch more than I like My Dress Up Darling. But that's because Witch Watch had more episodes.
Yeah, that's honestly, I wanted to put Mikadono at 13, but it didn't feel right considering I enjoyed Witch Watch, especially in the first half, which is why I gave it. But the point I wanted to make in terms of Witch Watch, why I gave it a 3.5. You guys talk about the plot. I agree the plot existed in part 1. However, my point that I had made, and I'll read it verbatim. Another thing that bothered me is the weakness of all the bad guys in the season. Though the characters do face danger and precarious situations, the show does not provide the real sense that stakes are truly on the line to really invest in any of the bad guy stories the characters have to overcome.
I agree, but I think that's a manga issue. That's not an anime issue. I try to remember that usually animes typically execute what the manga has already told you is going to happen, and sometimes it's the issue is the manga. It's like the anime did everything right it was supposed to. It's the mangaka who decided, hey, this is the story. Like that went on the anime.
We're gonna have some filler in between your fucking like serious plot point.
But you know,
another thing, Ethan, they did explain why Moi is so stoic during season 2, which is like one of the major actual good parts of season 2. Nico fucked up and gave him a spell that made him only look at her as a friend.
Yeah, that was one of the other points I made in my review. I was like, it really just feels like Moi looks at her as like the doting. He acts as the doting older brother and looks at her as like the cute little sister. And of course, it's anime; they're gonna overcome that.
But he really cares about her,
and that's fine. But I'm not invested.
I mean, I am. I like. It's like you can choose from that relationship, which is cool. Then you have Nemu and Wolf's relationship.
I'm more invested in that one.
It doesn't matter because it's in the show. Yeah, it's like just because they're not the main character. It's like just because they're not the main character. It's like Bleach. It's like Bleach. You know what made Bleach good? It's like someone saying, man, like Yoruichi is awesome and you know what I'm saying? But why isn't she? Why can't Ruka be as cool as Yoruichi? And it's like, bro, the cool thing about Bleach is you get to pick anybody and like them. Witch Watch, you don't have to fawn over the main character's love life. I like that we know.
I like Kansai better. Kansai is my favorite character on the show.
So, but no. Witch Watch, they did good when they did it. I don't want to stay on it too long, but I enjoyed season 2. I just enjoyed season 1 like a lot more.
just the comedy. I just enjoy the comedy. Anyway, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
It's your turn.
Oh, it is my turn for number 10?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Number 10, and it purely because I liked everything else more, I put my comedy this season. Detectives these days are crazy. Again, it's similar to Witch Watch in terms of callbacks. This is a true gag comedy, and it's one of the few gag comedies that I enjoy. There is no plot to this other than you have the broken down old man, the high school girl assistant that has crazy gorilla strength, and they're perpetually poor and getting into fucking hijinks. The side characters are fun, and their moments throughout the season are all just random as fuck, but always land. And I enjoy the humor more than Witch Watch. Um, Honestly, if I were to pick between Witch Watch and Detectives These Days Are Crazy, Witch Watch Part 1. I would pick Witch Watch Part 1, but if I'm grading it as a whole, Detectives landed with only their 12 episodes, while Witch Watch, in my opinion, as we mentioned, was downgraded because of the weaker Part 2. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed the comedy. I'd also pick Witch Watch for my comedy, so I couldn't have picked it anyway, even if I wanted to. But Detectives Days Are Crazy is just funny throughout the season. I was hooked, like I said, from episode 1 when she pulled a fucking bazooka out of her fucking bra and just blew some shit up and killed an entire fucking Yakuza corporation over a misunderstanding, thinking that they were fucking bees instead of actually going to take down a beehive. That shit was funny. And then throughout the season, just their situations were great. The comedy itself also was really, really, really fun. Not the comedy, the animation. The animation made some of the comedy as well in terms of like the way that they drew some of the characters, random as fuck, but really detailed and really funny. But realistically, I only gave this, I think I gave this a 3.75. I got to double confirm whether I did that or a 4, but I want to say I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. So I enjoyed it. Just I enjoyed 9 through 1 better.
All right, this one's a little hard. Number 10, Secrets of the Silent Witch. I enjoyed it though. Great fantasy. Love the characters. I did want a little more. Like the plot, like in the middle of it, it felt like a little cutter, except for like the betrayal of one of the friends and all that. All that was really nice. But I just want this to be season 2. I don't want it to be just a one and done type of thing. I feel like there's so much more to tell, and I can tell it could be so much better. But outside of that, I still enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I don't regret it. I would still recommend it to people if they want a fantasy that's not an isekai. I would tell them to definitely check this out, especially if you are fans of Butcher Rock as well. On top of that, so yeah, number 10 for me, Secrets of the Silent Witch. All right, number 9, Chris.
My number 9 is Kamisabaki City Under Construction. As I mentioned before, cute, fucking interesting series about a bunch of witches who sing while controlling familiars. It's based off of a game. I didn't mention that before, but what really like sold this on me, besides the music aspect, because it was all great. Just like how sort of fucked up this world is. Like, turns out it's just like some weird simulation that gets fucking reset over and over because this one dude is like, "Hey, fuck people." And it gets like pretty bad for the characters, where they lose and then their consciousness is sent to the real world where they watch themselves but not really like perform on stage, and that was pretty fucking cool because it was actually like the act like it was in actual Japan and they were at a fucking concert watching the holograms like sing and dance and do all that shit. It was really interesting. It's not higher because like the plot was sort of a little all over the place, but like I enjoyed it for what it was.
Okay. Starman?
All right, man. I have peaked that by the assassin energy. Somehow an ex-assassin doesn't kill, but kills it. I'm talking about Sakamoto Days. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was a massive improvement of part 1 in every single way. The pacing, the animation, the humor, all clicked this time around. It was sharp. It was confident. It was ridiculously fun. Season 2 can't come fast enough. Like part 2. Like it said, it summed up exactly what my initial issue was like, bro, this should have just ran consistently. It shouldn't have been should have been just been Sakamoto Days season 1, 2. Like, I like how it was just 24 episodes of adult anime. Like, the 90s retro vibe is really what put it over the top. Like the early 2000s animation style, chef's kiss. So yeah, Sakamoto Days is number 9 with a 4 out of 5.
All right.
Good.
All right. Very good.
My number 9, Matt, is not too far from your number 10. I picked Bochi Witch as my number 9. And you said a lot of what I was going to say, but I want to encapsulate it more in terms of my review. I'm going to read you all briefly the second paragraph to my review for this. Shouldn't take too long. The show is unique in that our MC can be classified as being potentially special needs, high-functioning autistic, neurodivergent, or an idiot savant. She is insanely brilliant, but has that inability to have human interaction. She could also be classified as someone who just has severe PTSD due to her trauma as well. But nonetheless, the character seems very unique from other characters viewers may have seen in past anime who have trouble interacting with others normally. As for the plot of the show, it's fairly solid. There is emphasis on who exactly is attempting to assassinate the prince throughout the season, but I felt that fell into an overarching plot point, as the true plot point of the show is seeing Monica grow throughout. A friendless girl, she learns to be better with public speaking and human interactions throughout the season, and in the process develops a universe of important people to her. Each of the side characters are critical to her development, but less so the overall plot at this stage. I don't know if that encompasses, I guess, kind of more of what you were saying, Matt, but
A little bit.
yeah, I do think at the end of the day, when you look at Witch Watch, you look for that development with Monica, who, depending on who you are, you may like her, you may not. I didn't like her at first. I thought it was annoying, and then she grew on me throughout the season and became a really solid protagonist by the end. And I think what we would like, to your point, Matt, is to see more, especially the magic, because when they do the magic, when you see Monica go all out, it is fucking next world amazing. And I want to see more of that. I want to see maybe more interactions from some of the other important side characters, seeing them have to do maybe some sort of battle or something along those lines, as long as it's contextually like within reason. One of the best scenes of Magic, obviously, is in the garden scene when she has to basically fucking decode things and battle. I thought that was one of the most incredible parts of the season, and I would like to see more of that. But nonetheless, I enjoyed Secrets of the Silent Witch. Very much looking forward to an eventual season 2. I pray they bring it back. 4 out of 5.
Very good. No, I like that. Number 9 for me is also Sakamoto Days Part 2.
Twinsies.
Twinsies. No, I love this a lot more than Part 1. If it was a continuous thing, it would have been higher on my list somewhere like in the spring, essentially. Because that was what I would have was continuous core. Great action, great jokes, fluid with the animation. I like the chemistry of the villains. Like they're serious at the same time. They are funny. Like they are essentially funny with how they are together. Like here's a company plan. Here's the benefits. One's just playing VR while controlling the other person. It's like, hey.
And rocking that deer head the whole time.
Yep, I love it. No, I love all the characters. Love everything about it. Can't wait for season 2. I know they're going to focus on the live action first before we get a season 2, so I'm definitely going to check that out when that comes out first. But no, I'm excited. So yeah, number 9, Sakamoto Days Part 2. All right, number 8, Chris.
I finally got to put this on my list, and it's a lot lower than it originally was back in the first half. To Be Hero X.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it did a lot better than with the final episode, but like, man, it really sucked to have the fucking trust system not make any sense half the time, and have the timeline like go all over the place. It's so great starting off with like basically the end of the story, and then ending off with right like right after that.
Right.
I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the world. It's just like it felt
It's
like the
all over the
world
place.
building the world building was all over the place, and like they couldn't like stick with their defined definitions that they had with in the beginning of the show.
Right.
Also, the lack of switching between 3D and 2D animation throughout like past the second or past fucking
Esol.
was disappointing.
Well, now we know why it happens. Is because of X. We find out why later, but yeah. If you didn't know that,
All the other ones happened,
it would have been like
all the
you would have been confused.
all the other ones happened before X's are like around fucking around with everything.
Yeah. All right, Starman number 8.
All right, man. My number 8. You guys ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. 15 years later, and it's still wild. Like Adult Swim, baptized in holy water and glitter. I'm talking about Panty and Stocking. 4 out of 5. I gave Panty and Stocking a 4 out of 5. It's not as funny as season 1, but I think that had more to do with the fact that it was shock value. I'd never seen an anime like that talked like that, and it had a different cast. And I really think that the original cast carried a lot of the original comedy, but the new cast did show up, and they were really good. It was far more daring. It was more creative. It was visually experimental. It was bold. It was modernized chaos, and it didn't lose its edge. It was messy. It was horny. It was hilarious. It was weirdly beautiful. So yeah, man, that's why I gave new Panty and Stocking with garter belt, and brief, and Chuck a 4 out of 5.
All right, even
Number 8 for me was a show that peaked at number 3 or maybe number 2 at some point. It was never going to be number 1, and over the course of the season died down with a tremendous force. It is Kaiju number 8. Season 2 is my number 8. Not much more can be said compared to what we've said over the last 3.5 hours. But when it boils down to it, when we got the action was fire. But most of the episodes in the season felt more like a Hashira training arc. I didn't hate the Hashira training arc, which is why I still rated it in my 10. So I didn't hate the training arc with Kaiju number 8, but compared to season 1 and how amazing season 1 was, season 2 felt a little bit like a disappointment to me. But nonetheless, I still look forward to season 3 and look forward to seeing the continuation. Matt, I do agree. They do leave you kind of blue-balled with that finale in terms of cutting it off mid-battle. They think it's going
to like it was starting to get interesting again, and they just cut it.
And they just cut it. So it's a blue ball. But either way, yeah, I'm simple-minded, so anything that involves crazy action like the type that Kaiju presents is always going to rank on my list. It just this season ranked a lot lower because I think when season 1 came out, I think I ranked it number 1 or number 2. So season 2 was a number 8, still a minimal 4 out of 5. Still enjoyed it. Still looking forward to season 3 whenever that happens.
Okay. Number 8 for me, the summer Hikaru died.
Wow.
Whoa.
No,
That's kind of low.
I'm saying.
Nah, they did good. But they did good with the horror. I wanted to know more about the shrine, about the thing that's in Hikaru. We got some of it, but I kind of want a little bit more of it. But since we got season 2, it does make sense. We don't have it all right away. Yes, it is a gay anime, but the way they are doing it is not the main. It's not the main focus of it.
It's hardly focused, which I'll talk about.
Is that, and I'm fine with that.
Hardly. I'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So I got like we know it is there. It's just it's subtle.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking their time with it. They're not treating it like it's a romance anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Yoshiki that had a crush on Hikaru before Hikaru died, but now it's that entity that's taking over him. Good job with the horror, the visual effects of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of a creepy undertone with it. I like that the sweet old lady that I was like that's like helping them out who dealt with this like with her son and husband type of thing. I like her. I want to get to know more about the blind paranormal investigator type. I want to know more about certain people, but again, since we're going again to season 2, I think we will get that. But solid start. I'm not upset with it. I welcome season 2. So yeah, Hikaru died. Number 8. All right, number 7. Chris.
My number 7 is Bochi the Witch. It was originally 10, but
Bochi the
last
Witch.
huh?
No, I was just like the name Bochi the Witch.
I called it Bochi the Witch, but Kristen's it better apparently.
Yes.
I it was number 10 for me, but that last episode just sold it for like, yeah, this deserves some more fucking praise. And or it deserves more points than like I originally had like gave it for, because like it like finally showed I was gonna call her fucking Pochi Monica. um it finally showed Monica like what she's like when she lets her guard down, where she opens up, and
Mm-hmm.
it was nice. It was nice to just like get to see the real Monica before like she, without any of her like nervousness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Starman?
All right. The next one I have is should have been an epic movie. And God, it would have been epic. It was gorgeous chaos with a heart that I didn't know, a heart that didn't know what it wanted. I'm talking about Clevitus. Clevitus was a 4 out of 5. It was the sleeper hit of the season. I say this is because it was excellent action, animation. It was a strong concept. Biggest flaw, if not the only flaw, is sometimes it lost itself in its pacing. Like the way the art kind of jumps from it does that thing in anime where once you wrap up one arc, it doesn't breathe before the next arc comes. But it just kind of feels like, damn, everywhere y'all go is trouble. And then when you get to the finale, it's like, since they didn't breathe, it's like, damn, we already at the finale. Y'all, they packed so much into those 13 episodes, which I can really appreciate. But I guess that's why it's frustrating when sometimes there was like, they're building a plot. They didn't build the entire world view of these characters. They didn't go on an epic journey like Freerun. You know, it was pretty much, hey, we're going from A to B. We're gonna run into some bandits. Let's kill them. We're gonna run into this. Let's fight them. These bad guys gonna stop. Let's fight them. Here's the big bad guy. You meet the big bad guy, episode 8, and then they take 4 episodes to really get to the action. But oh my god, when they got to that fight, I was entertained. I was entertained. They really went in. But yeah, man. It occasionally wobbled, but the ambition and the storytelling made it a delight, man. So 4 out of 5. At number 7, Clevitus is a go watch that. Like Clevitus is it. It could have been a 10 if they would have like really wanted it to. But I'm so excited for season 2. Like season 2 is like they're gonna switch up the whole anime vibe. They're gonna go for a completely different anime vibe in season 2. So I'm wondering how they're gonna go from action, adventure, fantasy to, I can't spoil it, but you'll see. Chris knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Me and Matt put it on our list, so you did a good job selling it to us.
Yep.
Tonight.
Awesome.
All right. Steven, what you got?
Chris, before I continue, you didn't put lesbian anime in your 13, did you?
I didn't watch lesbian anime.
I thought you watched. I was the only one who watched lesbian anime. Okay.
It was on my list originally, but I never got to be able to watch it because I had a lot of other things to watch.
Okay. Okay.
Is that your number 7?
It is my number 7, and I'm doing. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Rather than spieling off the top like I tend to do, and then I tend to ramble, I'm actually just going ahead and reading parts of my anime reviews to you guys because it's more concise, and I've actually put more like thought and had time to put more thought in this. So I'm going to read you 2 paragraphs from this. Shouldn't take too long. The negative about this show is sometimes the girls can be a bit too much, and Reneko is somewhat of a pushover for most of the season. She accepts certain positions she ends up in, and most of the time doesn't firmly establish the boundaries the show hints she desires. That said, though, I was blown away by the lesbian dynamic and overall plot of the show. Reneko, who has never been a beacon amongst anyone, becomes a magnet to each of the girls. Each girl opens themselves up to her naturally simply because they know how kind-hearted she is, and she has no ill intentions with any of them from a romantic aspect. Each girl feels comfort and ease around her, and Reneko, without even trying, manages to make them all weak to her natural personality. The show has plenty of sexually suggestive moments in PDA, but none of the scenes are over the top or grossly inappropriate. Each of those etchy scenes help advance the dynamic between the girls and does not distract either from the overall story nor the gravity of the romantic moment. The show also helps each girl grow into a better woman, with Renako leading the charge. Elsewhere, the show does a good job of exploring the principle of any person with burgeoning romantic feelings, as well as highlighting some of the difficulties of being physically and emotionally experimental with the same sex. Throughout the series, Renako, who is unsure how relationships and feelings work, maintains she does not want to force a relationship with any of the girls, but slowly sees her feelings and physical attractions become swayed towards them at various times and at various degrees. But all those moments, again, come natural and are integrated seamlessly as if the principle of same sex love does not matter compared to what the true end goal should and will be. I said this on plenty of episodes that I was on this season for the few that I was, that I genuinely feel this is probably the best Yuri I think I've probably ever seen. I'm certain that there are other Yuris that you guys have seen that are probably better and would agree eventually whenever I get to those. But for my limited like yaoi Yuri like viewing, I was thoroughly like happy with this show. I squealed at various points. I laughed at various points. Musical composition is very understated. The animation simple. It's not world beating, but it's not bad at all. Each of the girls is likable, despite the fact that they can be over the top. And I just enjoyed the principle. And I think they also set up a season 2 if they do bring it back quite well. And I very much look forward to it. The show, as I've said in the past, is also unique in the fact that it was widely available on YouTube. Originally, it was supposed to be a limited release where they keep it up for like 1 or 2 weeks, and then the demand at least was so high they kept up all the episodes for the entire season. I don't know if that's how it stands now, but I would encourage anyone who's curious about Yuri anime and curious about what I've said in this review to go and check it out, because I definitely think that you will be happy watching the show. Easy 4 out of 5 for me.
All right, number 7. If this ended in spring, this would have been a lot higher. To Be Hero X. I love the action. I do agree with the issue of the trust value being kind of glossed over after the first half, and all of a sudden the fear factor side of it, it felt like a forced thing to put in like near the end of the season. And another thing to Chris's point, it could be all over the place if you don't know. The stories do connect, but you wouldn't get that through the first part. Those complaints aside, I love it still. I still very much enjoy it. I love these heroes. Ghostblade probably had the best arc. And if we're going to go episodic, it was definitely Ghostblade. X, great hero. We don't see it much, but it's the short and sweet, but it's still impactful. I like a lot of these heroes. Big Johnny's story is also tragic. Queen's great. Lucky Cyan, Commoner, or Nice, and Nice's story going full circle from the beginning to the end. That all worked. All this stuff does work. And I love the fights too on top of it. It's fluid, it's smooth, whether it's 2D or 3D. It all works perfectly. If you are into a superhero show, this is one I highly recommend. Is it placed low here? Sure, but you know what? It's still great. It's still a great fucking show. Check it out. Like there's look even just look up the fights to make you want to watch it. I highly recommend.
Just look up the preview from 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, look at the preview 2 years ago, or watch Queen vs. Boa. That's a fantastic fight, along with the Esol versus Esol, X versus everyone. You got all of those. So yeah, still check it out. To Be Hero X number 7. All right. Number 6, Chris.
Oh, okay. We're getting up to the like. Okay, yeah, this is where this is on my list. Number 6 is Night of the Living Cat. As I said before in my comedy, this show has no fucking reason to be this fucking funny, this or good. Uh, fucking the fact that oh yes, we are having a double N virus pathogen which affects cats to start the Nyandemic, uh a Nyan catastrophe is just fucking stupid and I love it. The characters were while some were like ridiculous, with their fucking oh man, protect cats even though they could fucking like kill us all. Uh was just like a little too over the top, and I do wish that there was a extremist group because apparently only 90% of like all of humanity has a cat. There should be like some that like, oh man, no, dogs are fucking better. Kill the cat. There was none of that, but maybe if there's a season 2, we can get something like that. Uh, the plot twist at the end, fucking Granny's farewell tour was fucking great. It was just fun. I enjoyed this.
All right, Starman.
All right, man. What I have for you for 6 is still nocturnal, still seductive. The only anime that makes Insomniac look romantic. Yes, Ethan, the only anime that makes Insomniac look
This
romantic.
guy didn't watch Insomniacs after school.
I did. What do you mean?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah, Starman didn't like it compared to like us.
Oh.
I'm talking about Call of the Night season 2. It's almost as good as the first season. The season deepened Nazuna's backstory. It added layers of mystery that unfortunately never really paid off because they left us with more questions after they gave us the reveals. It's just too many questions remain unanswered. And removing the main villain from the finale just kind of felt like they robbed us of any danger, threat, or any stakes that were really involved. I really expected something more epic when it came down to the battle because Nasuna got washed. Nasuna gets washed, and she kind of like loses her nerve because she really doesn't want to hurt her friend, so she doesn't go all out. And then Ko gets when Ko gets shot. It's like, yo, is he gonna die? Is he gonna turn? And when the next episode comes on, it's like, yeah, he turned for like a second, and that's how he healed. But we're not gonna explain if he is or he's not. We're not gonna even tell you if you're gonna get a season 3. Matter of fact, we're gonna call the last episode the title of the show, and that is never a good sign that you're getting another season because it's like, why would you do that? So they left us on the cliffhanger. Don't know what's going to happen. They removed the villain. We don't know who Nazuna's father is. We don't know who attacked Nazuna when she was tracking old girl down. Is Ko going to turn? What's going to happen to his friend and that relationship with that vampire that he has? So many questions left unanswered is why I couldn't rate this higher than a 4 out of 5. But still, this show has so much. The soundtrack is dope. The opening and ED is dope. The music is dope. It's a 4 out of 5.
You maybe switch by 6 and 7.
I put this.
I'll get to the bit, but
I put this high, and it made a lot of sense to demote this to a 4, and I might want to.
We're on 6, so
that wasn't my like.
No,
my
I said demote it to a 4 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5.
Mine were these were the same grades, so they were flip and flop. But that's how I talked about Hero X. It's like, I kind of like this a little better than Call of the Night.
I had this high. I'm gonna stick to my guns and leave it there, but I am gonna demote it from a 5-star to a 4-star. You've convinced me, so now I have only one 5-star anime. I think you guys know what it is, but
that was not my intention. But it's just like really.
No,
it's like
tonight has been a show. Tonight has been a show where I've made a lot of switches. I made, I think, officially 3 or 4. I think it was 3. Award switches. I've moved Kaiju 8 because of what you guys said, and now I'm gonna leave Call where it is, but I've demoted it from being a 5-star to being a 4. And it makes all the sense. I'm not for those who are listening, I'm not trying to dick ride, or I'm not trying to yeah, whatever. Like, no, like these, like the logic involved. And I hope people realize this at home, that whenever we say these things, it's funny to us, but we're not doing this because, we're trying to ride each other. Like, these are logical aspects that we sometimes don't think or are blind to. And when they come up in conversation, you pause and you're like, yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
So what's your number 6?
Number 6 is a show that I gushed about. Earlier in the recording, and that is Betrothed to My Sister's Ex. And I'm going to read another 2 paragraphs of this, and I'm going to give insight when I get to early on in the first paragraph. The plot of the show is one of the richest of the season, in my opinion. Effectively, this is what Cinderella would be if it was given a 12-episode anime. Marie is the Cinderella of this story. Abused both physically and mentally, she is treated as if nothing but a slave. Because of this, Kiro has to undo a lifetime's worth of PTSD and trauma over the course of the season. It is a long road full of depressing moments, but in the end, the show gives us one of the strongest conclusions and payoffs this season. As the show gives the reviewer more reveals, we learn the show has underlying tones of racism and stereotyping. That's where I'll pause. I'm sorry, I'll pause at the end of the sentence, and that the consequences of what those ugly feelings bring. I'm going to pause and give you context in terms of the show. In the finale, we see it throughout the season that Marie's mother has always had blonde hair. Her father has had blonde hair. Her sister has blonde hair. She's the only woman that has red hair. Her mother is the most abusive out of them all, and always talks about her hair. You're bad. Your red hair is bad luck. You know, you are a failure. You caused the death of our patron mother. You caused the death of your sister. You fucking disgusting human being. Blase, blase, blase. A bunch of insults. And in the finale, we learn that two things. One, the father's racist because he doesn't like foreign languages, despite the fact that as a noble, he's required to know these foreign languages, and he hates foreign people. B, the mom is racist because we come to find out when she's shoved by her eldest daughter, who she thinks is dead, it reveals that she has a wig on, and she's the one who has red hair. Hence why Marie has red hair. And we come to understand why she is so like against people with red hair, is that she has an inner disgust with herself because she has the red hair. And she has this utopian view of that the princesses should be white, blue-eyed, blonde hair. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Mm-hmm.
And so she has this inner disgust, and she wants to be of this higher stature, and she feels that only people that look like this should have higher stature, and everyone that looks like that is above everyone else, even though she, throughout her entire life, as we come to find out, has been trying to make up that deficiency in herself, despite the fact that there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'll continue with the rest of the paragraph. The principle of the fact is that our MCs are literally an interracial couple is one that should be commended. Another story of love being loved, no matter color or background, similar to my number 7 with the lesbian show. The side characters are given enough depth to care about them, and each plays an instrumental role in helping Marie overcome her trauma and get settled into her new life. Many of the side characters in the show are also employed by Kiros in his manner, and all of them come from different countries and are of different nationalities and backgrounds, further promoting diversity. The animation is good, nothing amazing, but the musical composition is great, befitting of the type of story and world this is. The show tied up all its loose ends perfectly and wrapped up so nicely. Available on Crunchyroll. This turned out to be one of my low-key sleepers of the season and earned a 4-star rating. I would enhance that, and I would give this a 4.25, 4.5, somewhere around there. But if you wish to see Cinderella the anime, check it out. My number 6.
Okay. Let's say it was called The Night, but that's now number 7. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm still going to talk about it as if it was 6 still. With the Nazuna backstory, it felt very pushed to the back as soon as we got more about Anko, because the whole season should have been more focused on Anko. The Nazuna stuff, that should have been season 3 if we got season 3, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, it was just there that it's just not talked about again. Like, oh shit, we're back to Anko. And I was just such a, like, no, like, go back. Because I care more about that. I'm sorry, you can wait. You can wait your fucking turn. Like, what are you doing? So it was just that. Like, I just wanted more of that. And I still like it just as much as season 1. I just wish the soundtrack was different. Like, I still like it, but it still sounded the same. I want it to be like something different in there on top of it. Like, it's the same thing you heard from season 1. That's not like, give me more. Like, you had like 2 years or so since season 1. You could do like a couple different new songs in there somewhere. But it was just stuff like that I was like, okay, I should probably break it a little bit lower. I do hope we get season 3 because I do want to know more about it. It's also still funny that Anko went from like the main boss you beat and you unlock her and she's out with this drunk, flirty type. kind of funny, but still the same time. Like, oh. But Anko was the highlight for me personally for season 2. The other stuff was fine, but that could have waited. That was my big gripe. That could have waited. But yeah. So yeah, number 7, Call the Night. Number 6, To Be Hero X. And now number 5. We're just about here.
We're
Chris,
making great time, by the way.
We
Great
are.
time. 49 minutes.
Chris, number 5.
My number 5 is Yaiba Samurai Legend. As I mentioned before, when I talked about the adventure aspect, seasons 1 and 2 were a good combination of going from a small time threat for a dude who went on a power trip after getting possessed by a demon to him raising an army, taking over Japan, fucking building a fucking mobile fortress, to now having to deal with some bullshit Queen of the Moon who wants to kidnap women and use them to restore her eternal youth. Uh, the story has just been enjoyable so far, and I didn't realize that it was well. I'm not surprised since it's made by the same person who made Detective Conan. That the characters are so enjoyable to watch and see them interact.
Okay. Starman.
All right, man. We're getting down to the wire. Okay. Who knew Anne of Green Gables would drop one of the hardest slice of life adaptations of this decade? And Shirley, man.
Are we twinsies?
Are we twinsies?
Are we twinsies? Yeah.
We might be twinsies. And Shirley is
All right.
and Shirley's a 4 out of 5. The internet made me conform to argues about the way they did her pacing age. More particularly, the issue that I point out is when her hair turned green and then she had to cut it off. And the second half of the episode is back, but they don't explain what season, if the season changed. I'm like, there's no way you grew this much hair in a week. How much time has passed? There were never clear indicators of the season always. Sometime it was fall, and sometime it was spring or winter or summer. And sometimes it was just about the story when it came to that. But we saw her grow older. We saw her love. We saw her do the college thing. But when Anne became an adult, it felt like it felt like a different show almost. It's still the same show, but the tone completely shifted, which wasn't a bad thing. It felt a little. It felt like, man, I don't know. I felt like maybe this one shouldn't have been so rigidly 24 episodes, maybe 30. It just felt like maybe they could have added a couple extra. I think maybe the first episode should have been 45 minutes to an hour long, and then they gave us 24 episodes. I think they should have did that, and then they could have probably filled in some time gaps.
I'll talk about it when I talk about it.
But yeah. Twinsies. Yeah, man. And Shirley, 4 out of 5 for me.
All right, Ethan.
I can't really talk about my number 5 because Sean hasn't seen it, and I can't really read my review like I'd like to because I think my review would be kind of partial and would.
I will not rob you of that, my friend. Go ahead. I will be paying attention to the screen. Give me a thumbs up when you're done.
All right.
Yeah, just give me a thumbs up when you're done.
Oh, do you want me to remove you? I guess temporarily, or
no? He'll still see it. Just
I'll still see it. I'm just muting.
He's gonna mute.
I'm just sliding.
Give a thumbs up when you're done.
I'm sliding the fader down in 3, 2, 1. You're on.
All right. Number 5 for me, Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. The only thing that, two things, the principle of Netflix stifling this show with the release schedule really annoyed me, and I had to use the VPN in order to make this in my 13 and make my review as a whole, as well as the second thing that Chris and I discussed of how open-ended it is, but I'll eagerly anticipate the season 2 as I am with that in mind in terms of getting that completeness with the story of the two rivalry schools and so forth and so on. But I think for this, I'll just read again the two paragraphs. The plot for the show is great, chock full of misunderstandings and innocence. The show really delivers on the wholesome message of never judging a book by its cover. From Rentaro's appearance to the rivalry between the schools and the negative, misguided emotions its students both take part in and endure, the show delivers on the principle that all humans, for the most part, can find common ground. And in doing so, trauma and internal barriers can be broken, and genuine human interactions can be the foundation for new outlooks on life and new directions for the future, for the better. The love story between Rentaro and Karako is exceptionally done. A slow build filled with cute moments, curious discoveries, and breaking down said barriers and changing each other for the better are the main takeaways. Moments of confusion do not bring them down, but rather help them understand each other and build their friendship until it reaches an apex and we get a wonderful climax to the show. The animation, which is stellar throughout, helps guide the viewer to feel even more emotion with emphasis on eye and facial expression, and the musical composition help those emotions reach a fever pitch with wonderful complementary tones and music that perfectly encapsulate the moments of the show. These combinations hit me at least a couple points in the season to the point of small tears. If you make me cry, you're going to be high on my list. I had at least a couple points where I was stifling back tears in a car full of fucking people that were going to go rage at Lost Lands because of how beautiful I think Fragrant Flower was done. Betrothed to my sister, I enjoyed the romance better, but as a show, Chris, I enjoyed Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity just that little bit more. And this was one of the best watches that I've seen in a while. And although, as I said, it didn't win my best romance of the season, cannot argue with you. This is one of the better romances that I have seen, along with Betrothed, in a very long time. 4.5 out of 5. Thumbs up, Chris or Sean. Thumbs up. Thumbs
All
up.
right.
All right, number 5 for me is Anne Shirley. My biggest gripe was the time. It was the time skips. Like with the near the end of the season, like she skipped. We skipped a whole year of college. Like she had second year with Roy, and then as they're graduated in the next. I'm like, what? Like what happened? This should have been a 4 core. It should have been a 4 core series. They take its time. I don't know if it's gonna be any more, but there's so much more to tell. Like their wedding, what they're doing to advance their academics, World War I, all of that. Now we don't get to see any of that. That's why I'm like, come on, man. Like it's great. If you want for just Anna Gilbert, it's a nice ending, but there is so much more to tell of Anne Shirley that you could have done the season as a 4 core, and it would and just take their time with it. And then I think you could have got something very special with it. But either way, it's still one of the most underrated animes I've seen in quite a while. Like not many talk about it, but it's a special one. I love the slice of life. I love the drama. I love the characters. They know when to tug at the heartstrings, like when Matthew died or when Ruby died, and during that summer thing, all of that. Like, and when you thought Gilbert was gonna die, and you got like the comments like you're watching someone grow, but the gaps in it just sucked. That was like the big takeaway out of everything. But I still rate if it was. I still rated it high in spring. Like it would have been like either 2 or 1 with Hero X because they were my top 2 shows for spring. But the fact that they're low here, there's a lot of competition, and there are some issues that made it fall off. So that's why Anne Shirley's number 5. I still highly recommend it to people, especially if you're into like that English literature type of thing. Watch it or watch the old one. I want to watch the classic one now because of it.
I want to. Hey, if I ever see this play, like if I ever see like, hey, I can go somewhere and I can watch like the live dramatization in the theater. I'm going. I'm
Yeah,
going.
100%.
I would definitely go to
It was
see this.
funny. In Vermont, they had a play for like a few years ago. This was way before I moved, though. Like that.
Yeah. Like I just like the fact anybody I discuss it with. They're like, wait a minute, is that Anne of Green Gables? Like, yeah, like you watch that, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's a good anime, and it's been adapted so many times, and I feel like this time they best looking one. It looks like something that probably we would have gotten as kids back in the late '90s.
Oh yeah, like a PBS or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, number 4, Chris.
My number 4 is Tonyo Kaiten Rebirth Reverse.
Okay.
I did enjoy like a lot of it. From what I've mentioned a lot during the night. Um, the shows that are above it are shows that like were a lot near and dear to my heart, as I guess I could explain. Um, yeah. My like only like real complaint uh is just like I sort of wish it could have like more seasons like of ReZero, but I get it. Like better to cut like it's an original. There's nothing they're going off of. They don't want to fucking like drag this out and it turn into shit. Uh so yeah, I'm okay with having this as my number 4.
Okay. Star.
All right, man. For my number 4, I have. He's so overpowered is basically a training art for everyone else. I'm talking about the Seventh Prince. Seventh Prince season 2 was a 4 out of 5. He's even more on P. It was fun. It was confident. It was even more badass than season 1. The main character battles weren't as high stakes this time around, especially the final battle. But the cool thing about it was you get to see the side characters. You get to see the other cast their shine. They were up to the shine, up to the task. It was flashy, indulgent, and exactly really what you kind of want from this overpowered anime, because usually the overpowered character, like, it gets old real fast. I would say if you're a fan of One Punch Man, then you'll if you mix One Punch Man and Jobless Reincarnation together, you'll get Seven Prince. Same. That's exactly it. It's an overpowered character who can do magic, because he was reincarnated and he has a different account and memory of how to do magic. So he can do magic no one else can do, and that's really what makes him overpowered. In season 1, he learns so many different forms of magic. In season 2, he joins the church as a avenue to learn divine magic. And by the end of episode 1, he's fighting an angel. He's fighting like a servant of God, like God's soldier. He's fighting him 1-on-1. Like, yeah, dude, I'm finna beat your ass and get you to teach me how to do your type of magic. And he's like, bro, if you can beat me, I'll teach you how to do divine magic. And he beats his ass. And so, he has an angel who has to serve him, like the demon he has served him. But the payoff is towards the end, instead of seeing our main character fight, we get all of the side characters doing all the battling, all the fighting, all the kicking ass, and most of them are women. My favorite thing about season 2 is that etchy Shota shit that they did in season 1. They don't do that in season 2. Like, they completely cut that out, and I was so thankful. There are no weird, awkward, like, ankle and thigh shots. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that.
No more twink thighs.
Yeah, they don't do the twink thighs in season 2. Like, they cut all of
that,
that.
that ruins what everyone's looking for in Twink Sakai.
I mean, Twink Sakai. Yeah, they removed all of that. They removed all. He still got the beady, like, he still got the feminine beady, like, blinky eyes with the super long eyelashes, but his devilish smile when he starts to, like, boss up in one, like, just straight up. Oh yeah, he has fun, and this series is just so much fun to watch. It's just, I didn't like the finale, but everything outside the finale, man, this show was almost a 9, like a 4.5 out of 5, but the finale fell a little short. So I just gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay. Ethan?
Number 4, maybe the only horror show that I may ever watch that I will rate this high. We'll see how the future holds, but the highest I've ever rated a horror show in my life. And I don't look forward to ever trying to come up with it, but we shall see. The Summer Hikaru Died is my number 4.
Okay.
Again, it boils down to just the principle of how just it's otherworldly, which is why I have it as, like, I have my surprise of the season. Just, I didn't anticipate to love it the way I did. Again, I'll go back to paragraph number 2 in my review. The show surprised me for many reasons. The first being that this is a horror anime, which is not up my alley whatsoever. However, as much as the horror themes are present, the show does a fantastic job of making it feel more like a suspenseful mystery than straight horror. In particular, the cliffhangers the show left the viewer with almost weekly were very solid and left the viewer clamoring for more. This was one show I tuned into almost weekly without failure, as I couldn't wait to see what would unfold next with the boys and their backstory. Another reason the show surprised me is for what it represented. After doing a spoiler-free deep dive on the manga is prevalent for teasing gay undertones throughout. Those are also present, but rather than detract from the main story, it adds intrigue and another reason to care about the MCs beyond just the crux of the plot. Manga readers largely viewed this as a wonderfully adapted story of the season, which is a major plus for the show. The musical composition fits the creepiness that's present throughout the season, and the animation is done quite well, with plenty of creepy and borderline disgusting moments during some of the most tense scenes, as well as highlighting the moments the monster in Hikaru turns into the beast and begins to rampage, oftentimes against Yoshiki. I think that statement kind of sums up my feelings about Hikaru. Again, very pleasantly surprised that I love this the way I did, but I'm not mad. And I hear what you guys' points are in regards to why you may have not rated it as high as I did. But again, simple minded, and the fact that I was so thoroughly impressed with a horror esque anime still blows my mind. And I'm happy to leave it at 4.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. That's still a 4 for me. I still enjoyed it as like others better.
I gave it a 4. Realistically, if I were to go based solely off of my like rating, I gave it a 4.25 out of 5, which would put it below both Fragrant and Betrothed. But I'm gonna do that. Fuck it. I'm putting it. It'll be 6, be based off of the rating. But I will say, compared to the other two, the fact that I was just so impressed and so shocked that it's not a genre that I ever love, and the fact that like I really like enjoyed it and was really like hell bent on watching this almost weekly without failure, I think that's what really made me want to put it at 4. But ratings wise, I have it at a 4.25. Therefore, it puts it at number 6 compared to Fragrant Flower and Betrothed, which I had at a 4.5.
I'm saying you can still keep it there. That's fine.
Mm,
If you enjoyed it that much, that's good. I'm happy for you, actually.
I think if I were to recommend, I think I'll leave it. That's fine. I'll leave it at 4 due to the fact that if I were to recommend some of the shows, I think this would probably do better with a broader non-anime based audience. And so I think it has more of an impact from that perspective. So that's fine. I won't make the change then. I'll leave it at 4. Summer Hikaru died.
There. Number 4 for me is Lord of the Mysteries. I love the show still fantastic. Give it 4.25. Real complaint was the very beginning with the first 3 episodes with how the pacing was rushed, but I get why they did it because the studio wanted a certain fight to happen right away. But once that got out of the way, they slowed down with the pacing. We get to learn more about the characters, like the vast world of everything going on, the Grey Fog, the Nighthawks, these abilities of the seers, the grade, the sequences. I can learn about all of this. This is not one I could recommend to everyone, but at the same time, if you are into like the fantasy mystery aspects that has like a bit that has like the bigger picture type of thing, then yeah, that is something I definitely do recommend. The season finale was one of my 5 out of 5 episodes as a finale. I loved it so much. Again, it was emotional, gripping. Everything I wanted as a conclusion to set up for the grip of the bigger picture, because this is something that's going to be over the next course of 10 years. Special is going to be next year. Season 2 is 2027. I hope to be alive enough to see all of this. I am along for the ride. There's a lot I love about it. The potential is there for so much more. So I'm excited. So yeah, number 4, Lord of the Mysteries.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, Chris.
What?
3.
Tres. Trois.
Uh,
San.
My number 3 is the shortest of the season. Despite only having 6 episodes, it did like everything I hoped it would. I'm just gonna like say it like the next 3, they're like all of like equal value, but they were just like what I was looking for. in my like when they were like announced and like coming out.
Gotcha.
Takabi was just fucking great. He like everything, every fucking emotional hit, every fucking like foreboding moment, like all the like emotions that Takabi feels as he's like getting used to this fucked up planet. It was just like fucking great, fucking amazing.
All right.
All right. All right. Number 3 for me, I have Dan season 2. Aliens, Ghosts, Hormones. It's like puberty, directed by Quentin Tarantino. I thought of that earlier today. It really did have this nice feel. It was chaos. It worked really beautifully. The full season. I'm talking about 1 and 2, but I'm mostly focusing on part 2. They added characters that leveled up the depth. It leveled up the action, gave great real weight to the weirdness that was going on, and they leaned into it. The cliffhanger was understandable, but also infuriating because it's like, man, this is the middle of what's going on. Like don't do this. Like I
Better,
felt
better than season one. How season one did it.
I felt like, but I can't, because season 1 didn't end like a season 1. It was just like a part 1. It's like, yeah, man, we just gonna take a breather. We'll be right back after these messages. This seems like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to wait to 2027 to get this next season. It's like, hold on, bro. Like if they said 2026, I wouldn't be that mad, but 2027, it just seems kind of crazy. But with all that being said, it's because of that. They gave me my favorite fight of the season. They even gave me 2 of my favorite fights of the season. Okaroon Evil Eye, Okaroon versus all the musicians. I thought both of those were dope. Even one of my favorite scenes was Okaroon in the car when him and Miss Isa, she tried to hold his hand, and it's just them getting cute with each other. I think that's like really really cool. But they introduced a new character towards the end, and I was like, who's this guy? He seems like one of those you either love him or hate him characters, and I like him. Like I like him. Like he's pretentious. He's kind of
He's
he got that
confident,
charm.
but not at the same time.
Yeah, it's just like, man.
Don, I'm gonna tell you this: Don has too many characters that you will automatically like. Oh my god, fucking great character. There is not a bad character in fucking Don.
Yeah, so that's why it gave me some of my favorite sound bites. This from season 1? Who are them bitches? Like, just I don't know, man. I love this show. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for me. That's in my top 3.
All right. Ethan?
I'm trying to find the review for it so I can. There we go. Found it. I didn't write a lot for this review, but it was something that actually, kind of stood out. And I didn't think it was going to be as high early on. So I guess I'm not going to read this review. I didn't think it was going to be this high early on. And this was the show that I mentioned during our last recording that really, really sprung up the charts. Matt, I hear what you're saying where you weren't invested in the beginning. I disagree. I liked this season throughout. And then the last like half of the season was just fucking excellent. This show has never been at a higher point at this stage than where it's at now. And again, just the powerfulness of everything that happened with Suika really stands out and really puts it above the majority of these shows. Dr. Stone, season 4, core 2 is my number 3 anime.
Well, I got that wrong.
Ha!
I guess that's your number 1 with how you glazed it.
No, number 1 was never. You know what my number 1 is, and it was never gonna change. I will say this though, unrelated to number 3. I did confirm my number 1. I didn't give it a 5. I have no 5-star anime this season.
You downgraded. You had 2 at the beginning of this show.
I thought I put my number 1 as 5, and then when I read the review and I went back on Analyst, I didn't. I gave it a 4.75. And realistically, Sean, if we want to talk about my number 1s, I gave Apothecary last season my only 5, and I gave Orb in Winter my only 5. I've only had 2 5-star anime this season or this year so far. I just want you to know that. But in any case, going back to Dr. Stone, the stakes have never been higher. Everything, as much as we laughed about everything that's Sean said during our part 1 recording. Stanley, being the absolute menace he was, definitely helped make the show, despite the fact that they have the elixir of life, aka the revival fluid. There was still real consequences. Many characters died. In any other show, if this was a darker themed show, more darker themed show, those characters wouldn't have come back at all. And it meant, like, at least in the moment, you obviously know it's Stone, no one's gonna die, but it meant something to have those type of stakes. They are in life or death situations. They are literally fighting for the survival of the planet. And there is weight and there's gravitas to that reality. And as Sean had mentioned earlier, during part 1, just the amount of building that they did, they've been doing it at an even more impressive pace. They've got even more resources to do that and set an impressive pace, but it's unprecedented, the stuff that they're doing. And it's not even unprecedented the fact that they're doing it in general, because it is possible. That's one of the best things about Dr. Stone, is everything that they show you is stuff that isn't out of the realm of the average person. But it's the principle, the fact that these are teenagers. They're all still like teenagers in physical state, not obviously in terms of them living, because they've been living for 1,000 something years basically, but in terms of physical state, they're still all teenagers. They're still doing these tremendous things that, if this were real life, with the way the world is, literally only people from China and Japan and Korea could fucking do what they're doing. No one in the United States could come close to this. We would all die. So it's impressive from that standpoint as well to me. And again, the emotional aspects. I genuinely felt emotion seeing Suika in those last 2 episodes. I glazed it to death, Matt. You're right, but it deserved the glazing. Pause. It was phenomenal. The stone has never been higher. And I know we've talked about this on the show in the past, that the manga tends to disappoint it, and then it becomes really over the top and it may be disappointing. I hope that's not the case. We shall find out. But at this stage, they're reaching an apex in the show that it'll be hard to see whether it tops, whether it disappoints. But one thing I can say about Dr. Stone before I conclude is that out of all the animes that we talked about, if you want to get somebody into anime, I feel Dr. Stone is a really good contender to recommend to someone that doesn't watch anime to watch Dr. Stone and, be able to kind of, take a different take on anime and enjoy that aspect due to some of the real life, like, realities with the science and things of that nature. So I've never put Dr. Stone, I think, higher than I have this season. And so I'm very happy that I was able to put it number 3.
All right.
Okay. Number 3 for me, Down season 2. I just like the other 2.
Twinsies.
Twinsies. I just like my other 2 a lot more better. I still have fun. It's funny. Got nice character moments. Gigi shined as himself and as Evil Eye. Okarun definitely stepped up as well. Love the fights. There were 2 fights are some of my favorites. Introduction to new characters. The cold cliffhanger thing mid arc. I think that's going to be the theme for Dan at this point. So I'm just going to expect it going forward. As like a giant middle finger for however long they want to carry it out.
This wasn't the end. This wasn't the middle of an arc. This was the end of an arc.
Still feel like there's but still something's gonna happen like right after this type of thing.
Well, yeah, of course. That's with every fucking shonen.
Fair. But either way, have fun. Dan is still entertaining. Still check it out. Number 3, Dan. All right, number 2.
Dan.
All right.
Not that, and I mentioned this fucking last year when fucking season 1 came out. I didn't fucking count it for fucking last time. I'm counting it this time. Fucking, it was so fucking disappointing where they just fucking cut off. This one was actually like acceptable, where it wasn't in the beginning of a fucking arc. I'm not gonna touch too much on fucking season 1, but like as like everyone's been fucking saying, all the characters are great, all the fights were great, the fucking visuals, the fucking opening could have like I would have preferred like Ochinoke but like there was nothing wrong with the new song. The ending was great. Fuck, where else? Yeah, like Don's great. Fucking great number 2.
Starman.
We're down to the wire, and I couldn't be more excited. All right.
Your like mic is buzzing.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. That's because the fucking applause. Anyway. All right. Science just keeps winning. This man rebuilt civilization not once but twice. Talking about Doctor Stone Future Season 3. It is actually the only 4.5 on my list. This is a 4.5 out of 5. It's a fantastic season, felt damn near flawless. The stakes were higher than ever. There was death, destruction, discovery, all intertwined. But at times the pacing did feel kind of rushed. Like they really had to, you could sense the urgency. And sometimes I think the urgency kind of rush some of the pacing, like what they did with Suika. They could have easily just did for 3 years later, 4 years later. So when Suika revives everyone, it's like, yeah, 7 years passed. It's like, wait a minute. We don't know how long y'all were frozen. Are you counting from the time y'all? Because the internet, the people from the manga say, nah. That's 7 years that passed. She wasn't working on it that long. They was like they were frozen for like 3-4 years, and only 4 years happened since everybody was frozen. So it was 3 years, then 4 years. So that's where you get the 7 from. It wasn't, oh, after Suika woke up, 7 years passed. It's like, nah, only 3-4 years passed after she woke up. But I shouldn't have had to go. I shouldn't have had to have people on the internet tell me that. They could have just as easily on the show 3 years later, 4 years later, but they didn't. And I feel like that's the one flaw that keeps it from being a 5 out of 5. But other than that, oh no, bro, this was elite anime watching. This was elite high stakes anime watching. It was like the Stanley scene when he landed on Plymouth Rock and landed on them for real. It was. I really kept thinking somebody was gonna pull something out. Somebody was gonna get saved. And then when the big twist about being petrified, it's like, oh no, bro, this shit the cure mentality, bro. He died, bro. Like Suika, like bro, he died, bro. Like for real. Like I just felt like, oh, now we getting into sci-fi. Now we getting into real sci-fi. It's just like, yeah, bro, this ain't just like somebody died and came back. So now my prediction came true. They're gonna work with Dr. Zeno to go to the moon, and when they face the real threat of the moon, you know who's gonna save everybody? Motherfucking Stanley. Yeah, because that's what Dr. Stone always does. He defeats you, then you respect him, then
That
you
makes
befriend him, then you
total
help him out.
sense.
Huh?
That makes total sense.
Yeah, Stanley gonna be the one.
Five Stanleys. They were like, "Yo, Stanley's gonna stand trial, and we're gonna say that he
Stanley's gonna redeem himself because Stanley's gonna save everybody when they go to space, and they know it.
Oh,
because he's the only real soldier. Stanley is gonna have to play for the other side and really like put his prowess to good use.
Are Stanley gay, by the way? Because I definitely got that at the finale.
Bro, that last episode, like, no, when they woke up naked and just comfortable, bro, I woke up in front of the homie. I'm like, hey, bro, put some on. I'm gonna turn the other way. They looked at each other like that ain't the first time. Yeah, Zeno, bro, Stanley killed for this man. That wasn't no. I hate these kids.
Yeah, that wasn't like a soldier getting a captain back. Nah, he
I love that man.
That was I love that man.
Like, Zeno.
Like that was no, like y'all done took my man. I'm finna go get him back. Plus Stanley, I don't know, Stanley wear purple lipstick. Zeno wear long ass nails. They kiss each other. I mean, yeah, bro. That's Yowie of the year right there, man. They locked in.
Matt, is Stanley the power bottom?
Yes, actually.
I forgot to mention.
If I had to point him out, yeah.
When you think about it, right? I gave it also 4.5 out of 5, Sean. So we similar on that wave.
Yeah, man, 4.5 out of 5.
Chris,
we were really similar.
Tell them what happens.
We were really similar.
Yeah, you were clapping, as you were making clapping sounds. We're very similar.
I won't tell them.
No power bottoming here.
What was that, Chris?
I won't mention how Stanley not only kills the men, but the women and children too.
Yes.
Yeah, he held no punches back.
No. I already been with
Utah. Sorry.
number 2. Go on.
Oh,
Oh.
my number 2. Sorry, I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah.
My bad. Number 2 is Call of the Night season 2. I can't really add much more to what y'all said, but unlike you guys, like I was thoroughly I see your points in terms of like shifting it over to be more about Nazuna and not so much about Anko, but I appreciated that. I could see what they were doing with it. I appreciated it. I was thoroughly invested in it. Those reveals, like this was a plot driven season for Call of the Night, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The culmination, as I said, why I called it my fight of the season between Nazuna and Anko. Yeah, Nazuna realistically lost, but all of the backstory and all of the lead up to that is really what makes that fight really, really special. And I was similar to Hikaru on bated breath for entirely different reasons. This would have been one that if I would have binged it, I would have been in heaven. And having to wait that week between them, and for me, I waited a few weeks because I had 9, I think, of the 13. It was one of those shows when I binged it, I had to binge like 3-4 episodes of it. And the fact that I got all of that was really, really, really great. I love the binge from that perspective. I do agree, which is why I bumped it down from 5 stars. In terms of the open-ended questions that I didn't think of previously, I do hope we get that season 3. Sean mentions the principle of them titling it Call of the Night, and I agree that is never a good sign. But I'm hoping that they debunk that and they give us. It took 3 years. If they give us another 3 years, so be it. But as long as we get those conclusive pieces, I'm good with that. I agree also with the sentiment of is Ko going to turn? I don't think Ko turns. If this is my prediction, don't know. My prediction is I don't think Ko turns, but I think he does naturally fall in love eventually with Nazuna, and they have a similar background because basically Nazuna. And again, I don't know this. I bet you when they do talk about Nazuna's father, he's probably a human, and it'll be the same situation between them. That's my guess. Don't know. That's not a spoiler because I don't know. I'm just predicting. And that'll be nice to see. So I do hope they give us that season 3. But I enjoyed Call of the Night for what it was. 4.75 out of 5 for me. So no regrets.
Okay. All right. Before I do this, I hate that you and I are 3-3 for number 1 for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for a variety for us, but no, we are the same for number 1 with how it's going to be.
You think we're all? Oh yeah, one of us isn't there yet.
Yeah, one of us. Yeah, Sean, I'm not gonna spoil it. So if you want to stay on, stay on. If not, you can mute yourself.
No, y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
Number 2, Fragrant Flower Blues with Dignity. That is my number 2. Every character felt important. Every character grew. There was a couple funny moments, emotional moments, romantic moments. Like even the stuff I really enjoyed, it wasn't the romance part of it. I'm not gonna spoil much. It's just watch with Rintower's mother, like with what she did for him.
That was such. I
fucking loved it.
That's one of the scenes that made me cry.
Yeah,
one of the scenes that made me cry.
100%. I love that. Fuck Netflix for how they handled it, for waiting for just a piece of shit dub. But outside of that, I enjoyed it a lot. It's probably one of my favorite romances in a while. Because again, some of them don't like some are good, but some are like, wow, this is really good. And I got that with Fragrant Flower. I do hope we get more. It's like with Dangers in My Heart. I love that. It's like around there for different reasons, but the romance of it is still really good. So yeah, number 2, Fragrant Flower. And number 1, Chris, go ahead. Tell us.
Flower. Fragrant Karuhana. I mean, what else can any of us say about it except spoiling huge fucking things for fucking Starman?
But don't spoil.
I know, I'm not going to.
I mean, I'm not. I muted it, so bro, y'all can just keep going. I can kind of read y'all lips and tell what y'all not what y'all talking about, but where it's probably safe to turn the volume back on.
Yeah. But yeah. I really love the characters. I really love the whole fucking like atmosphere where it's not too like much pressure. I love the fact that like they did such a good fucking job with the adaptation. Like not going into depth. Who fucking cares about them? I don't really even care so much about the Netflix thing because I was gonna watch it either way. Like whether I had to
You were
pirate
gonna
it or
find a way.
I was gonna find the way, just like I did with Most Band Cry, just like I fucking had to deal with what was the other fucking show I had to deal with?
Girls Band Cry.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Well, I already said
yeah, we
Girls
did.
Band Cry.
And I did that with Summertime Rendering. Yeah,
Yeah. I like if it's something I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna just fucking watch it. I don't care if I have to like break the law to like fucking watch it. Who cares? It's not my fault that people don't fucking send their stuff over the right way. Um, but yeah, I fucking loved everything. All the characters, all the fucking every moment, every fucking thing about the show. It was so fucking good, and I'm gonna be really fucking disappointed. Not really disappointed if it doesn't get a season 2 because I'm gonna just continue to read the manga. But like, it needs to. They need to keep this going.
It ended well. It just needs that finality in terms of the schools. For me,
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot like they.
and the other, I won't mention their names, but the other couple that they kind of teased, I mentioned that in my review as well. I hope they do something with them.
yeah. I think they will. Eventually.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'm not going to say a damn thing.
Yeah, hope they
All
do.
right. All right, Star.
All right.
Let's see if we're all the same.
You should be. P.
Okay. My top anime of the season. Proof that pain can be prestige TV. Short, brutal, beautiful, and gone before you can emotionally prepare. I'm talking about Taco P's Original Sin. I gave Taco P's Original Sin a very extremely rare 5 out of 5.
I gave it a lower rating than you.
I loved it more than you did, and I don't think you really even realized that. Like Taco P's original sin was a flawless execution carried by the strength in this limited format. What that means is the fact that they did it in short episodes, they wasted no time. Every story was good. Every story was great. Every story built upon the last, and the emotional weight carried by each episode, just it never got dull. And then they even managed to give us a twist about the timeline. That threw me off, but it was like, okay, when we got to the end, it was like, oh, dang, y'all cooking. Yeah, man, every scene hit emotional precision. It didn't waste the frame. It didn't waste the feeling. It was a haunting masterpiece that said everything it needed to. And then it vanished. Then it was gone. It didn't overstay its welcome. Like they came, they did their thing, then Taco P got back in his rocket and he's gone. I feel like it's very extremely rare. It's kind of like a good classic album. Like Michael Jackson Thriller is probably a classic because it's only 9 songs. That's it. It's short. Like the best, I think keeping it short is how you get a lot of classics. So Taco P was classic because it was short. It was short. It came, it was gone. That was it. Yeah.
You got that?
5 out of 5.
I gave it a 4.7 out of 5. Matt, I'm going to take this time to read damn near my entire review for this show.
Am I timing you?
No, I don't think you should.
Yes.
I've been pretty good with me reading my things. I've not been.
You've been good. You've been good.
This can be a little bit longer. First off, I need to say this emphatically. This show is not for the faint of heart. Behind the cute imagery, previews may show the show is very deeply rooted in themes of suicide, murder, and both physical and psychological child abuse. Each episode of the anime starts off with a firm trigger warning and advocacy for suicide prevention. The show explores the inhumane reality those who come from normal, good families have no idea about. Trauma is an epicenter for all these children's problems. Lack of solid parental and authoritative adult figures lead to each of the 3 human characters to deplorable decisions that no child in the real world should ever have to endure or contemplate, but sadly is more common than is discussed. Takapi's role of the naive alien who has no idea of the cruel reality of humankind and the deplorable nature humans can find themselves in if the right storm of bad luck and cruel fate presents itself, ends up guiding the reveal of the true moral of the show, overcoming the reality of human nature at its absolute worst and finding ways to keep on living, no matter how dire life's circumstances are. The animation is unique as it is imperfect, which correlates well to the flaws of the characters, but also drawn at times to capture the childlike essence of the characters' current age grouping. However, the show does a great job of using animation to really depict the emotions each character goes through at various stages throughout, with tremendous highlight and emphasis on when the characters do find happiness and when each character specifically hits rock bottom. Likewise, the musical composition does a great job of transferring the energy of the scenes to the viewer, going from wonderfully light and happy vibes and melodies to the most sinister and heart-stopping tones as something dramatic or evil occurs. The show does a really solid job of creating drama and giving you meaty cliffhangers, but done at appropriate times, leaving the audience wondering what's next for X character after X event has transpired. In the end, my only critique of the show would be the finale. It is a bittersweet ending that I do not wish to ruin, but it did not sit 100% well with me because I wish we had gotten definitive conclusions with the trauma each character had to deal with. The ending happens, but there's still unresolved issues which are never touched on. That said, as long as you can stomach the very horrid adult themes, this anime should be an absolute must-watch if you wish to open your horizons to something that sadly is more common in real life than we care to admit. A reminder to parents and role models in the audience that on your worst day, you are nowhere near as horrible as the parents and role models in this show. And a reminder to anyone who may be depressed that no matter how bad things get, there are things to keep living for, people to keep living for, moments to keep living for. As such, I gave this a very high 4-star rating and would implore people strong enough for it to check it out.
All right. All right.
That's 3 minutes on the dot, Ethan. 3 minutes on the dot. Good job.
I had to try to add the extra like emphasis and tone when I was reading that versus just reading it like just plain. I wanted to like have like my voice go up and down with the changes when I was trying to read that out because I think it is so important. And I do want to, before you go, Matt, I don't know if I'm stealing your thunder by saying this, but for as dark and sinister as Takapi was, I do firmly want audience to be reminded that, you know, the dark themes, including suicide and murder, are things that nobody should ever have to deal with alone or ever, point blank, period. And if you're ever at a stage in life where those are options in your universe, please reach out for help. Please talk to somebody. Please do everything under the sun to make sure that you can avoid those realities because just it's not right in terms of who we are as living people to ever have to kind of have to see that and endure that. And as I said, it is sadly more prevalent than what we make it to be. And so I think our job as being good human beings is to do what you can if you're ever faced with someone in those situations to kind of try and be that light. Even if you're not successful, at least put your best foot forward and try and, you know, do what you can to help and be a better person to yourself and other people. Moral of the story.
Wow, I stole my thunder. I was gonna say something.
I'm sorry.
Well, number one now. Fuck you, Summer Pockets. That's it. Number one, best anime ever. Don't care. Fuck you.
Y'all crazy.
Oh, since you guys were talking about the whole ranking thing, my top 4 are all 5 out of 5. Just throwing that out there. I fucking love all of them. That's Amio Kaiten, Taki Dan Dan, and Haruhana.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything further to add, Matt, on Takapi from your perspective?
No, I ain't gonna add number one is Takapi's Original Sin. They did so much with the amount of time they had. It's a short manga series. They were able to capture all of it in 6 episodes without complaints. And no, it does show the evil side of how families can be in different ways. Outside, we didn't get the sexual abuse. We don't. That's probably for the better, but it does the neglect, abandonment type, or the physical, the emotional, They all go through it in different various ways. While Takopi is this naive, mentally challenged alien squid type of thing that doesn't know what pain or sadness is. It's the land of happiness. That's all it knows. And he got a slap in the face of reality really quick in that timeline. When we got those twists of the timeline, yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like this changed the perspective of other characters too, because you get to see what the other characters are going through, or how they are feeling. Like they're not like the kids were not bad people. They were just circumstances of what their parents had done to them, and they don't know how to reach out or talk to people about it. So this is like the only way they know how, because people should. This shows that people should not be parents. A lot of people should not be parents. At the end of the day, they think it's just have a kid and then throw an iPad and ignore it. No, 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 no. Having a kid, it does take a lot of work, commitment, love. If you're like not in it for the long haul, then do not have kids just because a fucking book tells you to. Because that is just the stupidest fucking thing. Do it because you want, not because someone tells you to. But no, if you are getting abused, run away, go to a neighbor, go to the cops, call, just go somewhere, just run. Run away from it. I know it's scary, but people are out there to look out for other people. And it's not, again, it's just they're not bad people, they just come from a bad place. That's how I feel about all these kids. Even though they're also abusive, emotionally manipulative. Like Masuika was a teenager where she manipulated the other guy when Makina was dating the guy. It's that manipulation type of thing. It's just how they're raised. Like that's all they know, and it's awful. It's really awful, gritty, and they show that. I do wish, to your point, we got the consequences like from some of the parents, but at the same time, it's a different timeline, so it's kind of like a way for them to kind of start over. I wish we got that from the other timelines. Yes, if we were still in them, I agree. But the fact that we didn't, it's like it's a fresh start for them, even though some of the parents are the same. Like some that have not learned anything. Some have, some haven't, and that's what we got out of it. So yeah, not for the faint of heart. If you are, highly recommend it. If you're not, I do not blame you. I'm not gonna say you're missing out. I get it, especially people that do go through it. They don't want to see it on the screen. I do not blame them. So yeah, number one, Taco P's Original Sin.
That was beautiful, Matt.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it just says a lot in terms of the show that you're able to have three different powerful invocations of invocations. What the word I'm looking, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but three powerful testimonies in terms of the background of the show and just be like the actual
yeah.
the raw.
I knew it was gonna be everyone's. I knew it was gonna be at least 3 of ours, like number one. I just knew just by the way we talked on it, like nobody was bringing it up. I said, yeah, man, Taco P gonna be one because it made such an impact early on. It's kind of like you know how they say save the best for last. Like this ain't one of them you can say the best for last. This is kind of like going to the Apollo and watching the Jackson 5 perform. Was like, yeah, it's a wrap. I don't care who go after them. It's a wrap. They're gonna win. That's how it felt. Taco P. When I got done with Taco P, I was just like, yeah, this gonna be number one if don't nobody else drop some heat. I knew everything that was coming back, and I was just like, yeah, man.
There was mad heat, and nothing came close.
Like, I would say it got a flawless rating from me, but despite that, I did have some. Like there were shows that could have, since we at the end, there are shows like Dr. Stone could have did things where it would have been really close, but Taco P carried a different emotional weight. Dan to Dan really, if they wouldn't have ended on a cliffhanger, they would have. It's one of them shows like I don't know what a stopping point would be. Same thing with Anne Shirley. It's like okay, it's already a book. The Call of the Night, I think, is the only show that could have like jumped to number one had they went above and beyond, but they didn't. If Clevitis would have just knocked it out the park and just been super raw, maybe. But I think you got a good point, man. Taco P's Original Sin. I really think they had number one spot on lock the whole season.
6 weeks.
Because it was done when when the other shows were just about to start. Like there were like 2 to 3 episodes in while this finished.
It was 6 weeks of just
Yeah,
magic.
and it started like halfway for June. So
6 weeks.
Like
of
some
fun.
shows had 3 episodes, like you said. You're right. Some shows only had like 3
Three.
episodes tops. You know what I'm saying? It was just like
by the time that finished, I was like, good fucking luck.
yeah, it's like I think only probably Sakamoto Days was one of the few shows that was just in Kaiju number 8 was just getting to start when Taco P's about to wrap.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it's
I
like,
just
yeah,
started at week 4 or week 5 of Taco P.
yeah.
And
So
by then you are deep in that story. Episode 5 is the most paramount piece of the story.
yeah,
Period.
Taco P is just one of them shows like you can't dub it, you can't recreate it. It just exists as it is, and I think it's flawless execution. I think that is Taco P. I want to see how it stacks up against my full 2025 list because
Yeah.
Taco P at this point, I tell you, Taco P's in my top 4. It's in my top 4. Like the way I do my top 5 is 4 of my top 5 are the number ones for each season. The number ones for each season get a slot because that's what you earn when you number 1.
Yep.
It's like
and the other one's like a wild card, basically.
yeah, like so. Is it?
I do that for
Where is it?
One
Like
through
where is it gonna take?
1 through 5 is the top 25, and then everything else kind of slots its way. That's my yearly review. But I mean, Orb, Apothecaries are my number ones from winter and spring, respectively. Do I feel Takapi is better than both of them at this current moment in time? Yeah. Yeah. Good luck, fall.
So, yeah, good luck, fall.
But guys, we are going to wrap it up here.
Woo!
All right. We're gonna have our fall season premiere next week.
Are we not going over our shows?
We're gonna do them quick. Except for Chris because he has like everything.
What are you talking about? This is actually a fucking like miracle. I only have 30.
Miracle!
Well, that man said only 30. Man, Chris,
That
you don't
man's
get
in
the hell out of
he's
here
in Miracle,
talking about
he's in the
something
40s.
I only have 30.
Yeah, I started with like 40 last season, and then I dropped like.
I don't mean to beg, but
Sean, perfect 3 years later, 4 years later.
Man, look,
I don't know.
I'll run through it to kick it off. I'm going to shotgun it. One Punch Man Season 3. Spy Family Season 3. My Hero Academia. Fuck Crunchyroll for goddamn making me suffer through spoilers because they did not similar dub it like Vigilantes. You get a full middle finger for that because that was an asshole move, and I will never forgive y'all for that. Never forgive y'all for that. I can forgive everything else, but that I can't forgive. The stakes are too high. Stakes are too high. I'm watching May I Ask for One Final Thing. Starting that. Rama, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know this dropped. I'm late on my thread. I'm gonna post that right when we get done with this.
The first season was so fucking good.
My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. I love the early 2000s animation style. That's why I'm watching that. This monster wants to eat me. Sanda. I'm watching that. What else do I have? You know what? Dusk Beyond the End of the World. I'm watching that. Aside from those, everything else can wait. Those are my essentials. That is what I'm absolutely have to watch because I'm still watching Toko Anaki and Gotcha yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Trash anime. Gaisha Akuta. Thank you. All right, I said it. Yeah.
I don't say gotcha.
That's it.
That's definitely the incorrect Japanese pronunciation.
What? Gacha Akuta?
I say gotcha Akuta. I say it mad white.
Oh, okay.
All right, who's next?
Let Chris go.
All right.
I'm Chris. You want to time my fucking rants? Time Chris's fucking list.
All right.
I have Spy Family Season 3. Assassin Exceeds the Heroes. Let This Grieving Soul Retire Season 2. My Best Friend's Little Sisters has it out for me. Hero Without a Class. 2 Year Eternity Season 3. May I ask for one final thing? Lord of the Rings with Hit Season 2. Awkward Senpai. Chitose in a Ramune Bottle. Vanished Court Musician aims to become the strongest. Inexpressive Kashiwara and Expressive Ota. This Monster Wants to Eat Me. Ranma 1/2. Toa no Yugure. Sanda. Hands off Kotasashi-kun. Alma-chan wants to be a family. Shumatsu touring. Tojima wants to be a common writer. Let's play. Digimon Beat Break. Amogus or Genosha. Sevis, Sound of Heroes. Mechanical Marie, which fuck everyone who's been spreading the bullshit that it's AI, that they have AI. It doesn't. It's actually handwritten. Fuck off. Faded Magical Princess, which was some Chinese show which actually aired like near the end of last season.
Well, there's a Japanese. There's a Japanese subtitle to it.
Yeah, they have Japanese subs for it. It's actually pretty cute. I'm also continuing Gachiakuta, Togen Anki, Watori no Kuno XX, and Procession.
Excuse
No.
me. All right.
Minute 20.
Not bad.
There you go. All right.
bad.
Yeah,
Disney Twisted, you said is probably going to come out as like a whole thing.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a whole.
Okay, so excluding Gachi and Togen, those are the two carryovers. Isekai Quartet 3, One Punch Man 3, Wand Dance, status as an assassin overly exceeds, Chitose in the Ramune Bottle, 1/2 season 2, Friend's Little Sister has it out for me, My Hero final season, May I Ask for One Final Thing, Sanda, Spy Family season 3, Wedding Rings 2, Eternity 3, Shabake, A Star Brighter Than the Sun, My Awkward Senpai, and Yano-kun's Ordinary Days. I currently have 20 on the dot, which I'm so grateful for.
Alrighty. Faded Magical Princess is mine. We got My Hero Academia final season, Uma Musume Cinderella Grey Part 2, Ranma Half Season 2, Spy Family Season 3, To Your Eternity Season 3, May I Ask for One Final Thing, Dust Beyond the End of the World, This Monster Wants to Eat Me, Sanda, hold on, what else we got? Mechanical Marie, Touring at the Apocalypse, Wedding Ring Season 2. What else we got? I want to make sure. Chitose's Ramune Bottle, Isekai Quartet Season 3, One Punch Man Season 3, and yeah, the Twisted Wonderland.
Do me a favor, guys. Tomorrow afternoon, morning, whenever you have an opportunity, send me the list so I can put them all inside of a little document and I can keep track of what's what.
Yep, no problem. With that, the cafe is closed. If you're following us, just follow this thread on there. What is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Thank You Dershi Radio, and Dipton Network host us on their social media platforms. Thank you, Sean, who's our editor. Follow Chris at Chris Zephyr, Amidesky24, and Astro724 to follow Ethan. Follow Starman at AKA Starman or Rico Star. Check out his music and his book. Follow me, House of Cosplay, or at David Phoenix 12. If you listen to us on audio platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, and all that, give us a 5-star rating. It does help us out a lot. We will be here next Tuesday for the fall season premiere. We're getting out of here. Oyasumi and good night.
Sayonara, minasan!
The sun goes to sleep, I find myself in a heap because it hurts so much to be away from you. It makes my day when I get a text from you, but still I say goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I see your face, but hey, it's fine. I know everybody needs a little space. There's no one to blame. Goodbye again. Let's hope this isn't the last time that I hear your voice, but it's your choice. I can't keep you here forever. Just promise me that you'll come